We are living in some strange times. 2020 has ushered in some of the most polarizing and odd behavior we've ever witnessed. Viruses often morph, but this virus has morphed into a global IQ test. Whether you're right-winged, left-wing, or gimpy ass bird with no wings that's too cool to vote, stupidity thrives everywhere. COVIDiots come in every fun color, shape, and size. Our biggest problem right now is that with so much diverse information going around, some of it slightly questionable, and some of it, well, illuminating, we don't really know what to believe anymore. We can't even agree on basic facts, like are masks the source of freedom, or the enemy of freedom, a real Nord, if you will, ruining both pizza and American flag alike. Much like a wily magician stealing a little kid's nose, we are tired of all this misdirection. We just want our noses back, and some freaking answers to basic questions. But before we can get into the data about how effective masks are, why are we even having this conversation to begin with? Is the rest of the world really making fun of us? Oh, okay, but guess what? Joke's on you, rest of the world, because we're number one. MAGA. So wait, the joke is on us? Americans can't even leave the country right now because virtually no countries will take us? Well, joke's on you again, rest of the world, because Mexico and Central America are the only places that any of us ever wanted to go anyway. But look, that's not all. Albania and Tanzania, they're real sweet tourist destinations too, right? Anyone that tells you otherwise is stupid. Alright, fine. We dug ourselves into a little bit of a hole by being divided about the science of wearing a mask, but it's not like we're out there saying masks are killing people, right?
You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people.
Okay, scratch that last part. I suppose before we get into the facts, the data, and the science, first we need to explain what the conspiracy theory around masks is all about. Now, there are a few different variants of this conspiracy, but the common elements are always the same. Masks are a hoax, and the evil masterminds behind this, same as always. George Soros, an 89-year-old man, a 1990s defunct wrestling group called the New World Order, and then we've got 5G towers, they're involved, the ultimate goal of having a cashless society, the watchful eye of Big Brother, the toilet paper corporations that are absolutely crushing it right now. Can't forget the lizard people, aka Hillary Clinton, and all of this just so the New World Order can ultimately resurrect the Macho Man Randy Savage, aka the Slim Jim guy. But is this all worth it? Now, the Macho Man's signature move, the flying elbow, was awesome, but not once has it ever been used in real life. Okay, maybe this whole thing's legit. Now, to combat this evil rising threat, anti-maskers are fighting back with dank memes, ironic masks, and totally believable looking face exemption cards. American Eagle makes it look bona fide, doesn't it? So now you know the conspiracy, but what is the science?
They want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door. You're all turning your backs on it. Can you prove that it's good for people to
wear a mask? Why yes, elderly Karen, we can, and we did. On July 18th, we pulled the number of COVID cases by week, by state, and calculated a weekly rate of change for the last 3 weeks, and then averaged them. Then we combined that data with data on which states had statewide mask laws and which ones didn't. And the results of the analysis show that states with statewide mask laws had lower rates of week-over-week growth versus states with no mask laws. In fact, this trend could be observed in every single growth category from less than 10% to greater than 40% growth. The states with mask laws did better than states with no mask laws. Now, correlation is not the same as causation. Any scientist will tell you that. So to see if anything else could possibly explain this, we also layered in education rankings of every state based on statewide scores, college education rates, and there's my southern states, good. And then just for fun, we also layered in the way the states voted in the 2016 presidential election. Before I show you the results, let me just say again, correlation is not the same as causation. For example, there's a 66% positive correlation between the number of people that drowned in a pool and the number of films Nicolas Cage was in. Not impressed yet? Well, there's an 89% correlation between the age of Miss America and murders by steam. America picks the hottest girl, and you pick the hottest way to murder. There's a ton of these. Cheese causing death by bedsheet, and this last one's pretty fun. It's probably actually correlated. But unlike these random examples, in this case, there's not only correlation, but causation. The overwhelming conclusion of the analysis is that the least educated states tend to be the red states with governors that ignored the science and did not enact statewide mask policies. So these are the places with the highest COVID-19 growth rates. Can we prove that masks work? Yes. And in case you still need clarification, here's a slightly different view of the data. So now that we've presented evidence that masks work, I suppose we have to explain why they work. Given the vast amount of information out there, and as obvious as this should be, some people are just looking in the wrong places, I guess. Or willfully ignorant, trying to consume propaganda in place of news. But hey, either way, here's a real simple explanation on why masks work. An unlucky girl at the beach got stung by a school of jellyfish, but luckily, our drunken hero showed up to take advantage of the only socially acceptable way to pee on somebody. But as our drunken hero tried to help the girl with his pee, unfortunately, he forgot to take off his pants. And pee does not magically travel through pants, so the girl stayed dry. But luckily, a friendly dog showed up, and because dogs don't wear pants when they pee, he was able to successfully mark his territory, and the girl was saved. So hey look, I get it. You're skeptical and confused. You started this thing 2 steps ahead of everyone. You had your doomsday prepper bug-out bunker, a 2-year supply of Patriot survival food, 10 seasons of Duck Dynasty on DVD, and out of nowhere, the government told you that you had to wear a mask.
Hopping on our constitutional rights by these communist dictatorship orders.
Then like a redneck groundhog that came out of his hole and saw the ominous shadow of big government, now you are freaking mad. There won't be 4 more weeks of doomsday prep from you. Now you're gonna go protest, MAGA, freedom, grr. But here's the thing. This isn't a conspiracy, and masks really do work. If you're still skeptical, here's a test that you can do in the privacy of your own home. Go grab your bug-out bunker buddy, stand 6 feet apart, put on your overalls, and then try to piss on him, and see what happens. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go check out the podcast, Indecorous Intercation, subscribe, share, and help us spread the indecorous word.